And welcome back to our newest edition of Sims Complete Podcast. I'm Matt Sims alongside my Faja.
Is it newest edition or just a new edition?
The new edition.
I knew you should have studied harder in school.
Okay.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just trying to be funny, and sometimes, they bomb.
And
that one bombed.
You're
I don't
not
care.
funny. Yeah.
We'll cut it out of the show. All right, go ahead.
No, we're not doing the opening again. We don't have enough budget for that. So we're going to go into the Week 10 review.
Okay.
Another exciting week. But before we do that.
Yeah, you have what?
We're going to highlight one of our Sims Complete quarterbacks from this past weekend.
Oh, very good.
Yes. Richard Belin of Cardinal Hayes. Richard is the younger brother of Henry Belin, who is a quarterback at Duke right now.
Right.
Richard is the starting quarterback at Cardinal Hayes. They just defeated Archbishop Stepanak, in the playoffs 29-26. And Richard's had a phenomenal year. He actually has a twin brother, Blake Belin, who is actually a defensive tackle / D end for Cardinal Hayes, who's being highly recruited across the country for his skills. And we're honored too, Pastor Belin, who's been just phenomenal with us too over these years as we got to know obviously the sons who play quarterback and that relationship. So we're grateful for that. But
remind me one day to tell some Pastor stories.
Yeah. And Pastor was a great football player himself.
Yeah,
he played at Vanderbilt.
Very when you see him, you'd go, "Yep, you played."
Yeah, he definitely looks like a former football player.
So I'll give it real quick. Here we go. I got to tell a story. So I usually would stand back there, and Matt would be coaching them and going on, and Pastor would be behind me about 5 yards at the fence because he liked to lean against the fence. So Matt is talking to his sons, and what's the word for it? He's using a lot of foul language. And I go, "Matt," and I, kind of turn to Pastor, and he goes, "Oh, sorry, Pastor." And Pastor goes, "No, Matt, you just keep on coaching those guys." Whatever.
He doesn't judge.
He didn't judge. It was so.
Yeah, so
I was
appreciate
like sweating because you were cursing.
Yeah, occasionally my mouth, it goes.
You didn't learn that from me.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
But
go ahead.
Richard was 7-11 on the day, passing for 122 yards. He rushed 25 times for 163 yards.
Wow.
4 touchdowns on the ground running. His long pass of the day was 39 yards. His long run of the day was 36. The cool stat, too, is that Cardinal Hayes and Richard converted 3 fourth-down conversions, all of them in the low red zone area, and they converted them all, not just for a first down, but for a touchdown.
Wow.
And, so Cardinal Hayes defeats Archbishop Stepanak 29-26, and Richard Belin having a fantastic year, leading now his Cardinal Hayes Hayesmen, up Hayes, Willie Cologne, to play against Iona Prep in the championship.
Okay.
Yeah,
Two good local schools around here, fun to follow. Richard, I'll just give my quick point.
Yeah.
He can really throw it.
He can throw it.
He can throw it. I mean, he can throw it. He's a junior.
He's talented.
He's a junior, so he's got another year ahead of him. Do you have an unsung hero that we're going to do here in the top, or are we doing that somewhere else?
Would you like to go ahead and?
No, you do it. I didn't get one. You're the one that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to mention it during the game when we did a little game review.
Wait for that. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I didn't see it in this whatever you call this rundown. I got a lot of stuff, but yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
But let's talk real quick before we get going.
Go ahead.
The game last night.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It really is unbelievable, and it might come back to haunt the Buffalo Bills and keep them out of the playoffs, whatever. But, wow, I went and watched it this morning. I think I know who it is, but I'm not going to say because it's got to be one of two guys out there. But
who was the extra person on the field for the field goal? Okay.
Yes, there's two people.
Yeah, let's not throw him on
No, I'm not going to do it because
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it until I know. But I was telling you on the way over about special teams numbers. And I said, Parcells would go over forever on a Saturday morning when you have those walkthroughs. Okay, on the kickoff team, the gunner's out. Who's in? The third string gunner. I was like, and I was standing close to him. I went, "Oh man!" He goes, "What?" And it all comes down to this: Sims. These owners know two things: they can see empty seats and they can count to 11. And by God, we're going to stay here and do this until I'm happy.
Right.
So, it's really true, isn't it?
It is true. It is.
Yeah, so the little things that coaches really have to worry about and overcoach just because, especially last night, in the heat of the moment, everything that was going on, and it was guys running on, running off. It was confusion. I saw Sean McDermott this morning say that we worked on it. We did it during the week. We practiced that, and practicing is one thing, but when it happens in a game,
Yeah, executing is a whole nother.
Changes completely.
And everyone, ourselves at home, everyone in the stadium knew what the situation was, knew that the game-winning field goal was going to take place.
Right.
And that, I think, is what's most disappointing about that situation, is that it wasn't like one of those spur-of-the-moment, we have to react to this
you knew it was coming.
Sudden change. We all knew that it was coming, and the lack of execution in that crucial moment. And of course, we appreciate Josh Allen and what he does and his skill set and how important he is to that football team. But dude definitely has to be a little bit more careful with the football, especially the one before half. That interception was big.
That was the one.
That was the one.
And too,
the fumble at the end was like icing, on the cake for that situation.
The handoff.
Yeah.
I'm not second guessing, but I was watching the game, and I just said there's 3 or 4 handoffs I could see that they weren't clean.
Right.
And I just go, man, you can't do this. And then later on in the game, they have that fumble.
Right.
And it dropped out of his hand. You got to keep your hand under it. You got to really, and I swear, if you go back and look at it, you'll see there were quite a few dirty handoffs, I guess you would call it, where there was a little bit.
Yeah, you're right. Like there were just, they looked ugly. They weren't clean situations, and that one was a perfect example of it. Didn't have a good grip on the football, and then kind of just, threw it in there and.
And before half, we didn't even know we were going to talk about this. I just want to say it. Before half, when you talk about Josh Allen's interception, in that situation, you don't even you should know this automatically. Unless they fall down, you don't even take a chance of throwing it down the field.
Right.
And I call these stat building situations. Check it down 5 yards. Oh, they back up and get another 5. Oh, we ran out of time. That kind of thing. Unless somebody breaks a tackle, whatever. You agree or not?
I agree. And it's one of those, especially on the sideline, down the field, the way that it was, it's got to be pretty clean for you to throw, especially before half, to take that chance on the throw.
And they were on those during
the game. If it's games on the line, you got to have it.
That's a different thing.
Cut it loose. But in that situation, there was really no need for it, especially being home.
My last thing, 2 things come about that, just talking about that situation.
Yeah.
They throw a lot of those routes.
They do.
I mean, because, one, he can do it. And I'd say at least half the teams don't even try these type of throws because of how difficult it is.
Yeah.
But Denver was all over them.
They were.
On those routes. And
yeah, Vance Joseph has that team playing extremely well. Now, they're playing great defense, the Broncos are. Buffalo, it just, to me, is a team that is not trending in the right direction.
No.
And both offensively and defensively. Russell Wilson played extremely well last night. The defense looks better. And we said it last week, Sean Payton, we like what the team is doing and how they're progressing. And, again, a big road win like that, I think, is huge for that football team.
My last line. They played it the right way. They were conservative on offense, took a shot here and there. Let's see how the game goes. And they managed the game, something that's you can't really talk enough about. They did a great job managing the game, Sean Payton.
They did.
And Russell Wilson, too.
Yeah, for sure. Russell's
playing
really good football. So we're just going to go down to just some of the quarterback matchups that we saw this past weekend and ones that we thought were pretty interesting and fun, obviously.
Oh, my gosh.
And we're going to start with, of course, CJ Stroud versus Joey B.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just
my first thought?
Yeah.
They're the same guy. I mean, they are. They're like brothers out there. They're both about the same size. They throw the ball and a lot of similarities. They're accurate. They got power when they need it. They got touch. And they can move around really, really well.
Yeah, they're athletic in the pocket, and they're tough in the pocket, which is really impressive.
Yes, well, they can stand in there.
Right.
And I laugh about it almost every time I watch CJ. Well, we're not sure about his mobility. How's that looking now?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else to say. He didn't have to be that mobile at Ohio State because he had 3 or 4 pro wide receivers drop back and the first one's covered, throw it to the next pro. And he was really, as we know, he was really good at that. But what are your other thoughts about this?
I love the offense. I love the way that it looks.
Oh.
D'Amico Ryans and what he's done with this whole team as far as just reinventing the team in just 1 year. You just can't give that guy enough credit right now. To me, he is obviously just numero uno of Coach of the Year right now. We said last week that CJ got to consider him for the MVP. now everyone is seeing that same thing that we
yeah.
see. And it's true. I mean, the dude's playing phenomenal football. And what's cool to me is don't worry about Rookie of the Year. Actually, give Rookie of the Year to Tank Dell or somebody else, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I do think that CJ, with the way that the offense is designed, which is really well balanced too. Devin Singletary had a really good game.
Right.
30 carries. I think he rushed for maybe 120-something, 150 yards.
As they would say, he was honking it up in there.
He was, and I think that will give CJ the ability to not get caught up maybe in that, rookie fatigue that,
Well, listen, he doesn't
it's a
take
little different for the quarterback position.
Doesn't take
too.
a lot of hits.
No.
We're going to show some of those plays at the end of the show here today.
Yeah, we're going to show three plays of CJ.
It's phenomenal by him, but I think the reason we want to do it is to show you I don't want to say creativity, but they do some simple things that nobody else in the NFL I see it with. Am I right or wrong? So it's really cool. That's the reason why we wanted to show a little more of CJ, just to show you how it works in the NFL and how they kind of go against the grain in situations and what they call.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
and the one thing that I love about it is it's simple formations, it's simple pass concepts, a lot of two-man routes. You highlighted this on your
Sunday.
on Sunday with your CBS crew, and it's great because it's aggressive play calling. But it's easy for the quarterback because he's separated from the line of scrimmage, and it really is just a 1-2-3 type of read, right? It's that Mardi Gras read, as we would say in Atlanta, top down, to speak.
I don't get it.
It's okay. It's just over your head.
Anybody get that? Y'all get that top down? What the hell? Oh, you mean pull the top down?
Yeah.
Oh,
there you go, player. So it's a simple read for the quarterback. And it takes advantage of what he does extremely well, standing tall in the pocket, but he's a great athlete. He can make people miss when he has space like that. He has a strong arm. He can push the football down the field. And, guys like Noah Brown now can be really highlighted with simple route running and get open in space.
Well, their idea, like I said, we're going to show the plays, but their wide receivers have to be highlighted. Yeah. And their idea is just run. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's no sharp cuts. It's just run full speed. Whatever they do, they just bend it and run. And their receiving and their offensive line, I can't say enough about what they're doing on offense. And you know what? They're going to have to keep changing. Why? Because everybody's going to start copying some of these concepts and plays.
Well, these are concepts that I had shared with you that Bobby Slowick definitely has taken some of this stuff away from what he learned with Kyle Shanahan and the San Francisco 49ers. And what's great is that Kyle and them don't do that stuff anymore. They don't run any of those type of concepts.
Yeah.
One, because they have a different skill group, so they can do different things and highlight their quarterback in a unique way. But these are plays that have been tried and true. I mean, this is what made Matt Schaub an all-pro quarterback in Houston, these type of plays. So it's a great offense design. The ability to run the football like they've had makes it, I think, an easier look, too, consistently for some of these play-action passes for a young quarterback to know when we're running the football well, you're probably going to get quarters or cover three or some sort of three-deep rotation, and it makes it an easy read for him to play fast and aggressive.
Well, the other thing is, we're going to talk about this a little later. We're going to,
you love teasing things.
Well, yeah, I want them because, in case they don't like what they're hearing now, just wait. More's coming. But no, we're going to talk about the rookie quarterbacks and just explain to you what's going on with all the rookie quarterbacks, which I think is important. I want to talk about it and kind of highlight stuff for fans out there that go, well, our rookie quarterback's not doing what CJ does. And, well, okay, yeah. But it's just a lot. We got a lot of good things
What do you think about Joe Burrow, though, real quick? I
want to talk. Man, yeah, to me, his only mistake was he was throwing the pass down the seam, which, there's a margin of error of about 1%, and he just missed it.
Yeah.
And the interception, that was huge. And we saw Tyler Boyd, he dropped a touchdown pass. Mm-hmm. There's always plays when you look at all these games and you go back to them. But dropping an easy pass, and Joe Burrow, he doesn't miss these throws, but it was, it was a gamble. It wasn't even a gamble. He just missed it a little high. When you miss high in the NFL, we know what. It's always trouble.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I thought he played really well. His movement was tremendous, and I don't know what it was. Maybe it's the TV, how they shoot it in Cincinnati. But I said this to you earlier. Damn, he's a big man.
He is.
And I tell people that. I said he's like 6'3.5", 6'4", and I said he's really kind of, thick. And people go, really?
Yeah, he's built strong.
I think people perceive him to be like 6 foot, or I don't know what they do.
Right.
But they're shocked when I tell him how big he is.
Yeah.
Because I go out there and stand next to him when they warm up. In the championship game, I go out there, yep, he's a big dude.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He is. And he plays strong. He does.
He does. He plays very strong. So what we got next?
So one little unsung hero from that game, right? Because
yeah.
we kind of just reviewed the game, so we're not going to go back to it later.
Good.
Is Sheldon Rankins. 5 total tackles on the day, 5 solo tackles, 3 sacks and 2 tackles for loss. And then the 2 guys that had the interception, DeAndre Houston Carson with the interception, then Shaquille Griffin, in the end zone for the second interception on Joe Burrow. So those 3 cats, but specifically Sheldon Rankins, I think, just having a phenomenal year in that D'Amico Ryans defense.
I mean, that was just a bull. He's a true tush hog. You know what I mean? If he gets you in the right position as an offensive lineman, you are going backwards.
Yeah.
And so one of the things I always write every single week as I do the games and get ready for the weekend is I just go, the pass rush. Houston, they like to, it's San Francisco. We're going to play it somewhat simple behind, but we want our pass rush to win. Well, that doesn't really work. They're not ready in that space right now.
Yeah.
And 2 things. They got a pass rush against Joe Burrow at big times, and they blitzed more than I've seen them blitz. I didn't look at the stats. I'm just saying off to just my
what you watched. Yeah, they played aggressive.
I said, wow.
Yeah, they tried to force his hand.
I think it caught Cincy by surprise.
Which is good, and that's why, again, we want to make sure that, D'Amico Ryans, he's got to be one of those guys in consideration for Coach of the Year, no matter what their final record is. But just the way that the whole culture of the team has already done just a complete 180 in such a short period of time.
Yeah, we'll get a chance to talk about a little more what he's done with the football team when we do the quarterbacks.
Definitely.
The rookie quarterback. So it's really cool.
So Will Levis, Baker Mayfield.
Right.
Tennessee Titans versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Good football game. And, want to start with Baker. I feel like Baker is playing great football.
Man.
He's playing really tough football. He's being athletic. He's gritty. And you said something interesting, too. You believe that Baker's really kind of figured it out, like
Absolutely.
who he is as a person, as a leader. You think that he's kind of straightened up a little bit, too. He's not so much of a, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much of a punk as he was in Cleveland.
That's a strong word, but I think
it's a strong word, but you know what I mean.
It's right. Yeah. It's right. And I've noticed it, his energy on the field. I can tell he's the leader of the team by watching the games. I've listened to some of his interviews. I go, wow. And he even kind of admits that, that he's changed. But I even said this, too, on TV, that he is ripping it right now.
He is.
You're a thrower and all that. There are stages where just parts of a season you go, man, I could throw any throw.
Yeah.
And the window could be this big, and I'm going to rip it through there. Because you control the ball so well. That's him. Good touch. And we laughed about this. He can't throw a football that's hard enough. God, that was hard. But wait till the next one. I'm going to throw it harder.
Right.
And he's a downfield thrower. So he's not going to complete 69% of his passes because he's going to take shots with those big receivers down the field.
He is. And Mike Evans has been awesome for him. And he's fearless. That's really what's so fun about watching him. He's so fearless in the way that he approaches the game. And this is another guy like Joe Burrow and CJ Stroud. I mean, just his toughness in the pocket is undeniable. The dude just hangs in there with the best of them, and he can really do a great job of really making a lot of plays when they're not there to be had. So, and I think that's something that, of course, with Tom Brady, those plays were missing the past 2 years because he's not as mobile, right? And Baker, I think, has really done a great job of kind of making some of those plays for them and keeping them in games when plays necessarily weren't there or designed to be there.
You must have listened to me on Sunday. I said some of this stuff. That was good.
Yeah, I listened to you on
mute. He's moving well in the pocket, and he's getting out of the pocket. And I think he's got still, when he moves out of the pocket, still has a powerful arm and can make those plays. And so Baker, good for him.
Yeah, definitely.
And now give me some Will
Levis. Go ahead. What are your first thoughts?
You do it. You know what? I didn't get a chance to really watch him as close as you did.
Okay.
Because on Sundays, you know how it goes, but I got a chance. I looked over Baker last night, but Will Levis, it was just so quick. I didn't get a great feel for it, and I asked you, and your evaluation was better than mine off the top of my head, so I trust yours.
Just watching as someone who played the position, not very well, and not as well as these other guys, right? And not as well as you, is I just feel like he's still just a little stiff when I watch him play.
Yeah, he is. That's who he is.
It's just real rigid, when he's in the pocket. And like Baker, like CJ, like Joe Burrow, there's a certain, sway that they have in the pocket where sudden reaction, someone pops open, like, oh, I can go and move. I got to move in the pocket. It's a little bit more graceful right now.
Even when they're in a rush, it's graceful.
Exactly. It definitely is. There's a certain grace to them when they're playing. And I feel like right now, like Will Levis, he's a little bit like the Terminator. He's like, cha, like every rep is, just very machine-like and stiff. And I just think that as he watches more guys competing against them, watching film of the other teams and how they're playing, he's going to start to say to himself, I should start to look and play a little bit more like these guys, which is so common.
He will. And I say this all the time, but it's so true. Year one, let's just, and I even wrote it down. I don't want to get too much into Will Levis.
Yeah.
That it's going to struggle. They might take him out again.
Right.
So what? Then put him back in at the end of the year, and then we go through offseason, and hopefully you have the guy that's ready to go.
Right.
And, he will loosen up. You learn just having that rhythm is so much a part of being a really good thrower. Now, he's throwing and doing what he does because that's who he is. But that doesn't mean it stays that way.
Yeah.
And I always say it. You get better throwing in the NFL from year one to year two.
That's true.
And if you don't, then good luck.
You're in trouble.
And, he's got to be the guy, and we talked about him last week some. You got to make all the routine throws, and then you got to make a few special throws. Mm-hmm. So, to me, still, what little I got to really study, still missing some routine throws.
Yeah.
And which you just can't do in this league.
Right.
The margin of error, which we saw, every damn game was a field goal.
Yeah.
Here it comes. So, but I'm impressed, though, still so far.
No, he's done well, and it's kind of hard to match what he did when he came in relief as the backup in that situation, came in and played great against the Atlanta Falcons. A little different when it's like your show every day of the week and then leading into the game. Yeah. A little different adrenaline. There's a little different demand of you, obviously, in those situations where when you go in relief, you just go in there like, hey, what do I got to lose? Let's just cut it loose. Let's just play and have fun.
You don't have time to think.
You're right. You don't have time to think. So he's getting baptized in a good way, and we see that he does have the ability to be a really good player.
Last thing would be coaches. And if it doesn't change, and sometimes I blame the player, but I really blame the coaches a lot too. So now he's a different quarterback.
Yeah.
And I said it, and I'll say it one more time. Man, if I could run like him, I don't like it, I'm running.
Yeah.
I mean, don't try to read four guys. Go 1-2, and then if there's a gap, go.
Yeah. Trust your instincts and just play.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A great example, Russell Wilson last night.
Played great.
Playing really careful and not going to take a chance. And as soon as he saw a little gap, he ran through it. And, Russell looked like he took about 3 years off his life last night. He looked
you're right.
Trimmer, quicker. And I thought, again, we talked about it already. He played
but
really,
you're
really
right.
well.
It's a tremendous impact, too, on coaching in that same scenario for him as well. Let's discuss now Cleveland and Baltimore.
Oh, baby.
Oh, baby is right. What are some of your first initial reactions to this football game? Mine, really quickly, is, damn, I thought Baltimore was going to just road grade them. I thought they were going to crush them.
Yeah.
I thought it was just going to be a total blowout.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy how tough this Cleveland Browns football team is. Deshaun Watson played extremely tough, hung in there, made a lot of good throws, made a lot of good scrambles in important moments. And he's another guy that if he can just kind of keep doing that for this team with that defense, they're a problem.
Yeah, the defense caught on to Baltimore when they caught him in certain situations. The Cleveland defense, man-to-man coverage is really good. Yeah, they're going to get beat some and all that, but that really lights up the fact that they can now blitz if they want to. But, when you have Myles Garrett out there running around, that's just one thing. And
right.
he's really unbelievable.
He is.
Have you ever met him?
I have not.
Oh, my God. It's like he's got legs that come out of his shoulder. It's unbelievable. And I saw him once.
He is a creative player in Madden, where you're just like size, speed, strength, 100, like.
I said to him once, when you go out around in Cleveland in normal clothes, do people recognize you? He goes, now what do you think?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
He goes, I don't know what he is, 6'5.5".
He's probably the heavyweight champion of the world if he was a boxer.
Yes, he would be.
That's really what it comes down to. The dude is just a phenomenal athlete.
But I'll just do this real quick. Cleveland, the thing about them, Deshaun Watson, they haven't, and I say this all the time, that they are being smart. They're not just going, we're going to throw it every down because we got Deshaun.
Yeah.
They still, Jerome Ford.
Played great.
Oh, my gosh.
Played great.
And Kevin Stefanski, he's a run-first coach, I think. That's the way he's been in his career.
And Brian Callahan, too.
Oh, no, not Brian.
Bill Callahan.
Bill Callahan.
Excuse me, sorry.
Yeah, maybe one of the greatest O-line coaches in the history of the NFL. But they run the ball well. They're an unbelievable screen team. And the other thing is, too, Deshaun scrambles. But there are a lot of times, and I heard this before the year, as I talked to some people in Cleveland, and it's true. Man, they're looking for hammer throws.
Yeah.
They are trying to get the ball down the field, and David Njoku has been awesome. Amari Cooper.
They need to get him the football more.
Yeah, they do. I don't get it.
They need to create a little bit more for him, and especially too a tight end like him and screen games.
Oh, he's
some of those gadget plays too. I'm also surprised that they don't run more creative design boots and nakeds, with their offense, and even do some of the things that we like from what we've seen with Houston and CJ Stroud. So maybe that'll be something that they'll sprinkle into their offense.
Yeah, you got to blend into that. The season's going. You just got to be who you are.
You're right.
And they still run it up in there. And you're right, Deshaun. Oh my gosh, it's awesome to watch. It's fun to watch, but there comes a time the coach got. We love what you're doing, but can we be just a little more careful?
Right. Or just protect himself, too. He's so reckless with
do we have to try to break every tackle? You're straight-arming defensive tackles. That usually
I know. But he's doing it pretty effectively sometimes. That's what's crazy.
Well, maybe that's why he looks, to me, noticeably bigger.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that as a derogatory thing, but that strength shows sometimes. And I've seen it all year long. I think the worst one I saw at him was when he played Pittsburgh early in the year.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, my God, give up.
right. But protect yourself in the next play.
And his throwing is getting better. I saw a couple in the game. I went, man, we talked about, I'm not going to get into it, but, as you keep playing and he's now getting into rhythm of being the quarterback again, Cleveland's going to be tough.
And then Newsome with the pick six late in that game. Yeah. That was a huge play. Myles Garrett, 1.5 sacks, 1 tackle for a loss, but his impact is tremendous on the football field. And then Owusu Koromora, again, is just he's so phenomenal. And he's got some of the coolest pregame fits, too. If you ever see some of his outfits, they're so awesome. And it's part of his culture, too. But they really are amazing. And he's just an awesome football player, man. And Jim Schwartz, he's got a great defensive crew. He's crazy. And with this offense and their ability to run the football, Deshaun, being more consistent and staying healthy and on the field, the Browns are maybe a legit contender. And, Dominique Foxworth, too, today mentioned Myles Garrett for MVP. So there you go, another non-quarterback guy.
I would listen. Right.
Still taking the field?
Listen.
I am.
I would love to see somebody besides a quarterback win it.
Me too.
Just for the NFL and for the players.
I agree.
I mean, and
we really should just have quarterback of the year award or quarterback MVP, so you could still say it's an MVP.
Now, who's the other MVP?
And then who's the NFL MVP? We got to separate the two because it's just
people talk about it, but tradition. This is what we've always done.
Yeah, throw it out the door. I don't care.
Yeah, I know. I think it's right for the players. I really do.
It is because we got to start to appreciate more of what the game is offering right now instead of just And we're two quarterbacks saying that, man.
I know. This is way. I don't want to get off script too much, but man, it's the golden era for these pass rushers. We got shotgun. And we're going to spread it out.
Right.
And then they just go, oh, okay, this is a quick avenue to the – I mean, it really is true. And you talked about it, and we talked about it, I don't know, 2 episodes. Mm-hmm. A lot of coordinators, we got to spread. We got to get – I can't keep the tight end and block. I need him out here in the flat for a 2-yard gain. But really think about it, it's absurd.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things we're going to show about Houston.
Right.
All the things they do to make sure their quarterback's not getting hit.
Yeah, one of them, though, you'll see later.
Well, yeah.
They didn't do a great job of it, but we'll get into that in a second.
It's not a game of perfection, son.
Yeah, I know, but you'll see exactly what I mean when we show that play
real quick,
later.
What do you think about – I'm going to say this about Baltimore. Lamar Jackson has managed games, I think, really well. And, when in doubt, he likes to check it down.
Mm-hmm.
And I said this not to repeat myself all the time, but that 70% completion percentage, he wants it.
Yeah.
I said it too. He's validated himself as a runner in history. Now he wants to validate himself as a true big-time, not pocket passer, but thrower of the football and do all that. And that number at the end of it, that 70 is a big deal, I think. And if you get close to it, every once in a while you got to think about that when you get those moments where you got to check it down, as I talk about all the time, then take advantage of that. But it was tough on Lamar. I know OBJ had the great play.
Yep.
But I thought
no, second half it was a different
tough.
game.
Yeah.
It was a different game. Early on, though, you're right. You're like, man, they're going to roll with it. But after that, credit to the Cleveland Browns hanging in there and coming back.
All right.
We're going to go to the Detroit Lions and the Los Angeles the Los Angeles Chargers game. Yeah.
San Diego Chargers. I could sing that song,
Yeah, we all can. It was so bad.
Well, no, I know, but I played against Dan Fouts, and they beat us like 40-something to 3.
Superchargers.
Hell, he would throw a touchdown pass. I'm over there singing it with him. I told Dan Fouts once, as I ran out there, he'd fumbled the ball.
Yeah.
And like I said, 1980, we were terrible. And he was yelling at the ref. I said, get off the field. Kind of just being funny.
Right.
And he turned to me, looked at me.
Turned to me? That was so country.
Well, I was country back then.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, he laid me out.
Did he?
Oh, it was awesome. I was like, oh, my God, that was a great time.
With his great 70s beard still hanging in the 80s.
But the words were awesome. He cursed and did it all right. It was so easy.
Yeah, he was a vet.
I knew it wasn't the first time he ever did it.
Yeah, that's right. He was a vet.
Whatever. I won't get into all that. But, yeah, the Chargers and Detroit.
Yeah.
Detroit ran the ball. They threw it with great efficiency. All those big names with the Chargers on defense didn't work or whatever. Jared Goff, I thought, was really good once again. Mm-hmm. And you just can't say it enough. Their play-action game, wild as it fit him. It fits him so great, and he takes advantage of it. And then, too, the other thing is, but the team, how they feel about Jared Goff and how the coaches feel about him and the front office, I think is a big deal. He knows they love him.
Right.
And, he just plays with a great spirit and just in many ways a tremendous job by Detroit. Even Dan Campbell at the end, I don't mean to say even, did an awesome job of managing the game.
Yeah, go ahead. What about that situation?
Well, I can't remember the exact times. It was 4th and 2.
Yep.
Could they kick the field goal? It was going to leave time on the clock for the Chargers. And if you watch Justin Herbert, one missile after another, I mean, he's the most powerful thrower of the football in the NFL.
Definitely.
And he made throws and big plays in that game that, honestly, nobody else in the NFL could make it. Nobody.
Right.
But so Dan Campbell knew that. His defense, it's much, much better this year, stopping the run. But I heard one of them say, hey, man, he's in the pocket. You got to look out for the home run. He goes, you know what? When he rolls out, you got to look out for the home run.
Right.
So that's what you deal with. So Dan Campbell, really good job there. They make the kick with no time on the clock. Game over.
And it was a conversion to Laporta, I believe, for like
little gain, 6 yards.
Maybe, was it 6 yards?
How's he doing, Sam?
And then they kicked the field goal with 2 seconds left on the clock. So that sealed the game for them. But you're right. I mean, Laporta, he is awesome.
Oh, my gosh.
Their draft class in general, it seems like they hit a home run
Branch
this year.
the safety.
Yep.
Campbell the linebacker.
Who's starting to play more and be more of an impact out there. Anzalone, the free agent's doing a great job, too, of what he's done there.
He knew Aaron Glenn, the D coordinator. Yeah, I was just going to say about Jack Campbell, the linebacker. He comes from Iowa, so they scrimmage every day out there.
Right.
I looked at Iowa this past weekend a little bit against Rutgers.
They got a lot of NFL football players on that defense side of football.
Do they ever?
Yeah.
And
2 of the guys are in the secondary.
Dang.
Yeah.
But Jack Campbell is, I said it to Bill Cower, said it on the air, he did. I said, he's the modern-day Jack Lambert.
Right.
He goes,
I like that.
No, and he goes, oh, that's good.
Yeah. He got excited about that.
And then he said it on the air, and I go, well, hell, couldn't you give me some credit there?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He goes, oh, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
So, but go ahead. What were you going to say? I mean, I think, what do you got to say else about the game?
I think you encapsulated it perfectly. It's really, it's again another situation for every fan, us included, where just when we start to buy in to the Chargers a little bit, they play like that, and just when you start to buy into like, yeah, they got a lot of talent on defense, all this stuff, and just they give up too many big explosive plays. Oh, that's who I wanted to highlight too. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Oh, you got it. I just started.
Oh, my gosh.
He's an unsung hero.
He is another unsung hero.
Nobody talks about him.
Not enough. Not enough. I mean, he's mentioned, but he's not mentioned in that class of receivers. Dude is amazing what he does. His route running is so clean. He's looking for – he's another guy. He's looking to score. He's looking to hit the home run every time he catches the football. And there was a few times, man, did he look fast on that football field, turning up the sideline on one of them. He was flying down the sideline.
Hey, look, he was raised to be a professional football player.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the documentary or whatever?
I have seen it, yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. The dad, take your vitamins. Let's go lift weights.
Right.
The dad was a
Sounds like somebody I know.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. All right. But, yeah, that was really cool. I'm glad you brought him up because I was going to.
Very cool. So it just big fans of Detroit and what they're doing. The Chargers, again, reinforcing why, we just get frustrated with them. And moving on now.
It's just, listen, I've said this many times, I give up. I give up. Because I keep picking them, and I got to eat it.
You're right.
So, but go ahead. Let's rip through a few. I don't want to take too long.
That's right. You did pick them this last week. Jacksonville Jaguars versus San Francisco 49ers.
Right.
Quick takeaway from that game.
Pass rush by the 49ers.
Whoa.
When they can rush the passer, then their secondary with the speed, the linebackers, then you're in big trouble.
Yeah.
And I think they got 5 sacks. Is that right?
Yes.
They got 5 sacks, so that was really working. And really, that's the game. Because I knew the 49ers were going to move the ball and make big plays against Jacksonville's defense. The 49er offensive line, I thought, overall played really well. And Trent Williams, I can't get this out of my head. He pulled and went outside once. And I went, oh, my God. He's fast. He just trucks him. He is the best left tackle.
That was the one thing that I really noticed with this football game is just how important Deebo Samuel and Trent Williams are to the success of this football team. When they were out, that's where I feel like the offense, Brock Purdy, all those question marks started coming up. Deebo is a huge part of this football team, the attitude that they play on the offensive side of the football, the physicality that they can play, and then also, too, the flexibility they have offensively.
Changes, yeah.
When he's out there with Juszczyk, with McCaffrey, with Brandon Ayuk and Kittle, it's very difficult for you to call certain defenses because that's a group that can run the ball really effectively on you. But then they line up in these spread formations, the shifts and the motions, and it's really hard to kind of tee off on the passer because you just want to make sure that you kind of cover all of your base in those situations. So Deebo Samuel, Trent Williams, to me, just the two missing pieces during that 3-game losing streak totally changes their whole attitude of their football team.
You're right. Trent Williams looked incredible. Deebo Samuel looked fast.
Yeah.
Who else looked fast? Christian McCaffrey, the week off.
He looked refreshed.
Definitely. And there was one more, George Kittle. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
He caught the one, but you can see how their body kind of changed with that week off.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's 2 weeks between games. Man, they were healthy, and they had, I'll be nice, they had a lot of gasoline in the tank.
They did.
And they were. And
now Chase Young on the opposite side of Nick Bosa.
Whole new,
there's a lot of one-on-one matchups now if you're going to drop back and pass the football. And now guys like Hargrave, Farrell,
he came out.
They're going to start to get more opportunities in one-on-one situations versus guards because of this situation. So it's pretty cool that trade is going to really pay dividends for them. Yeah, that's enough for that one. I think Jacksonville, they'll be disappointed when they watch the film because I think they had opportunities to make it a game and
never
they just
took advantage.
Never took advantage of it, and it's a good little punch in the chin for them to kind of realize like, all right, we're not quite there yet as far as the top of the NFL elite.
Pittsburgh, Green Bay.
Pittsburgh, Green Bay. Yeah, go ahead. You start with this one.
This is really easy.
Yeah.
I mean, just this typical Pittsburgh. And the formula is great. Can they win the Super Bowl with this formula? I would say probably not. But everything we do on offense is for one reason, just to protect our defense.
Right.
That's it. Run the ball, throw screens, short passes, rollouts.
Yeah.
And they did it all. No turnovers. And sooner or later,
I mean, I think he only threw for about 125 yards in this football game.
as I say, they drag you down into the muck. And once they drag your ass down there, it's over.
It is.
And I know it was close at the end. Jordan Love, I thought, played better. I've really been watching him a lot because I think he needs to – I won't get into it too much, but he needs to play well the rest of this year or show him that he really is the guy.
Yeah, he's got to solidify himself.
He's got to do that.
Definitely.
Go ahead.
Jalen Warren, 15 carries, 101 yards. Dude was running angry and did a great job.
He's fast.
And yeah, he's fast. That's right. And that's what you're right. Like just the style of play, you think, yeah, you can't keep replicating this. You can't do it every week. And here they are doing it. Yeah.
You can when that's who you are.
Right. They have no choice. They have to do this.
And that's it. Yeah. Mike Tomlin, this is, I mean, everything. They play to their defense. I did that. And, you know, we had our defense, and I wasn't great at it because, oh, God, I shouldn't have taken that chance.
Right.
I'll never forget, I threw an interception once, not to tell these. And I was walking off the field. I was upset, and Lawrence Taylor really just goes, hey, man, don't even worry about it. We're going to get it back for you in better field position. And he did. I threw the interception like at midfield, and we got the ball on their own 40 when we went out there on offense. So they got it back. Yeah, it's pretty funny. But go ahead. But, you know, Pittsburgh, 2 good running backs. Nothing like it.
You're right.
They stay fresh during the game. Najee Harris had a good game.
He did.
He's running hard, but Jalen Warren's the guy that can break it and get you a 40 and 50-yard run.
Yeah, which is great. And then just want to ask you a quick question too. The New England Patriots, what do you think that they should do? We know their problems obvious on the field. We don't even have to discuss that right now.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I always say this to everybody. Tell me the unit that's really well. Their defense can have moments where they play really well.
Their defense can hang in there.
Yeah,
maybe not enough.
Not
studs,
like in past.
You know, especially in not like the group that we mentioned in previous shows and how talented they were.
People forget. I mean, my God, there was all pros.
Yeah, they had superstars on every level of the field. But what would you do if you were Robert Kraft this offseason?
Oh, I don't know. It's early. I just can't imagine he'll tell Bill Belichick that it's over.
Yeah.
But it's tough, you know. And I'll just do this. Watching the game, I just went, "Is this game on a loop?" I'm serious.
I know what you mean.
Is it on a loop?
Yeah.
I see this every week.
Yeah.
Well, New England's got the ball. They got to drive 78 yards, 80 yards. If they score, they win, or this and that. And you know, it didn't work. I forgot who they beat.
They've been close to bringing teams into the muck, like the Pittsburgh Steelers. They just don't get it done.
And the drive has to be such perfection.
Yeah.
There's nobody makes a big play. It just seems like they don't break the run, and they can't do these things because they don't have the guys. So they got to nitpick it. I mean, it's like, you got 8 minutes to go. Are we going to score before the clock runs out?
Yeah, right.
So, you know, I know you're asking me, will there be a little restructuring in the front office? That'll be interesting. I would say yes.
It has to be.
There's nothing like, you know.
No one respects Bill Belichick more than our family does in that regard and what he's done and, you know, all the stories that we've heard through the years and his Bill Parcells moments, too, with you and the Giants. I mean, this guy's won 8 Super Bowls, so we know how great of a coach he is.
I was with him for 13 years with the Giants.
Yeah.
And I think it was 13. And he would always ask me coming off the field about the opposing quarterback because it was always windy in Giant Stadium. And, of course, you knew what I say. He's going to play like crap in his win.
Right.
And Belichick go, yeah, I know it. I think our conversation was the same every time because that wind, whatever, and he would want to.
That was like the 12th man for your defense back in the day.
Yeah, it was really for our football team because, as I always tell people, I said, look, I knew I was going to play average. The other quarterback hadn't figured it out yet.
Right.
So my expectations were lower. But but Bill, just so many details that he would do for the defense and for the offense, even for me, tell me things and stuff. So he's got an unbelievable mind. I hope he does. Somehow there's somebody out there he can get and that he trusts, and they can be together and see if they can change this football team with free agents, draft, and all that, and then get back in this again. Because I think when New England's in it, we all seem to like the NFL more.
I would love to see them get, you know, maybe a younger type of GM in there, you know, that Bill trusts.
Yeah.
You know, even if it was Mike Lombardi, you know, get him off his podcast and bring him up there. And
he was there.
The GM, you know, but just.
They let him go.
Need more. Right. Well, bring him back.
Yeah,
I know. I didn't want to. But need more offensive skill players.
Yes.
Need to focus on just getting more speed and more dynamic on the offensive side of the football. Need to be more creative in the offensive side of the football, I think, a little bit too. We'll discuss the quarterback later on here in a second.
Yeah.
See that I teased, just like you do
good.
all the time. And it just let Bill focus on the defense. Let him do what he does as far as evaluating what he needs for his defense specifically. Let someone else take the reins, though, with the offensive side of the football, the quarterback, the skill groups, and then Bill can build around those things, because I think that's really what's missing from them.
Absolutely.
He's great at what he does. He's great at calling defense. He's great at scheming up against some of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the game. Let him do that. Give him the guys that he thinks he needs to do on that side of the football. Other than that, that's it, Bill. I'm going to take care of the offense for you.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll build the offense out.
Yeah, it'd be great. I hope it works out that way. I just want to give a little rundown. So the rookie QBs, we want to talk about them.
Let's do it.
And put them all. But then we're going to kind of go into what teams need, what teams would draft a quarterback.
What teams would draft a QB.
Yeah. And, you know, when we say draft a QB, we're talking about somebody in the first round and maybe even.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
well, let's do the rookie QBs. I'll let you start.
Let's go ahead.
Jump in there.
Let's start with Anthony Richardson.
Let's do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, a small sample size.
Yep.
But what we saw in that sample size looks pretty good.
Yep.
I think he'll be able to have the skill set that'll fit the NFL extremely well. It'll be unique, too, to what Indianapolis wants to do. Believe they have the coach to do it, who's done it before. Mm-hmm. And I thought there was moments where we say, okay, yeah, there's that inexperience as a passer.
Yeah, who cares?
Hasn't done enough. Yeah, didn't really care is right.
No.
But you saw the physical attributes where, you know, he's borderline maybe one of the top 5 best athletes on the football field, even as a rookie in a lot of the games that he played in. And that's something to be said. And I feel like he made a lot of wow throws in a very short period of time. And it looked like he was in that, you know, he was going to have his, you know, fair share of lumps during the season, but he was also going to have a lot of, you know, good little victories too for a young quarterback as a rookie.
You know, very well said. I'm sold already. I was sold after a couple games. I was sold.
I was too.
This way.
Well, we liked him too in the offseason for the draft prep. So
I think it caught me by surprise is that his decision making was good.
It was.
And his throwing, his accuracy was good. I mean, he threw some footballs into tight spots like, completion. Because he just could throw it so hard. But, you know, in the pros, they can handle it or whatever. And I loved that. And Shane Steichen was all in. He wasn't going to let's be careful.
Well, you're right. Yeah, he was
all
going to
in.
let it fly. He was going to let it fly.
And it was going great. And they were, you know, there's Gardner Minshew to play, whatever. They had it. If they had to switch him in a little bit, who cares? But I wish it was more experience. But I think it might be just enough where he's had all this time to think about it and everything. And in the offseason, I think we'll see even a much better version next year when it
kind of can reshape his game on like what worked, what didn't work. Now watching Gardner and what he's doing on a week-to-week basis, what works for him, how can I make that, you know, help my own game? So
and listen, he did get hurt running, but as I say, and I say all the time, when you run the football as a quarterback in the NFL, if it's in front of you, you don't get surprised. You don't get blindsided, but he got hawked from behind.
Right.
And, you know, he was running out there. I think they were running the option.
He got pinned. He got pinned to the ground.
Yeah, and you can't see behind you, but you just got to feel that people are chasing you when you're going sideways in the NFL. But I think the sky's the limit for him, and that was pretty exciting what little bit he did get to play.
And in that comparison, you know, Will Levis, who I said earlier in the show, was like a little stiff and rigid.
Right.
Never really got that feeling from Anthony Richardson. Thought that he already kind of has that flexibility to move smoothly in the pocket, to have a flexible arm, to throw from funny angles. So that's another thing that I think is really important for him and his development. The next guy that we want to go to is obvious, CJ Stroud.
Well, to me, we're going to show plays, so I'm going to keep it tight, is that D'Amico Ryans, Bobby Slowick, the offensive coordinator, they just went, let's put it all in.
Yeah.
And let's go.
Right.
And it wasn't, we got to be careful and not give him too much and all that, which I don't agree with anymore in the NFL.
Yeah.
You got to step on the gas and go and give them every bit of experience you can that first year. So year 2, we can reshuffle and be better, and he can be better, and now you can start talking about really making it happen. So the play selection, the play calling, and we got to be honest, right? I thought he would do well. I didn't know it was going to be to this extreme, right?
Yeah. No, it's really it's kind of hard to comprehend how good he is, and he really is probably playing top 5 quarterback in the NFL right now to me. Clearly,
I don't think you have to sit there and think about it.
I know. I mean, I'm trying to be,
I know we're trying to temper things
just because he is a rookie, because it is, just past the midpoint in the year and all that. But man, it's been really impressive, and you're right. He's exceeded all expectations.
I think Just when you were watching the plays, did I catch you by surprise that we started looking at some of the plays and the design, or could you already know all this about Houston?
As far as what?
What they're running on offense. Did you know when we picked out the plays? I was showing you. Did you?
Yeah, like when you showed me some of those plays that you wanted to highlight this weekend. That's again, I just see an extension of what he learned.
Oh yeah,
from Kyle. So all that stuff, the touchdown that we reviewed last week. That was a play that I had seen run millions of times to Julio Jones and Mohamed Sanu and some of those guys. So it was. To me, it's kind of just like, like it still works. And when you call it in the right, appropriate time in the game, with the right skill group, it's hard to defend those things when you got really good guys executing it, and especially at the quarterback. It's been crazy that way.
Here we go, because we're going to go into so we've hit all 3. Now we're going to go to Bryce Young. But before I hit there, as you see Houston to be the greatest example of this, their offensive line's getting better in pass protection. Why? Because they throw it a lot.
Because they're doing it, yeah.
And the receivers are tremendous route runners.
Yeah.
Whatever. Why are they getting good at it? Because they do it a lot.
Right.
And the design is good.
Yeah.
So that leads us into.
Okay.
Yes.
What teams need to draft a quarterback?
No.
Oh, what?
We got to go about Bryce Young. We
okay.
Talked about Bryce.
Oh my God! I can't believe I forgot him.
Yeah.
Jeez,
that's
terrible.
Yeah, everybody's laughing. They're all laughing at your ass back there, going, "He's an idiot."
They actually don't care.
They don't care. Yeah, that's right. They're falling asleep listening to us. But yes, go ahead. Well, you want me to start, or you want to do this with Bryce first?
With Bryce Young.
Bryce Young.
Okay, so I think one takeaway is that, the concerns of his size and his athletic ability and all that kind of stuff, all those question marks where it's like, why are you saying that? He's clearly the best quarterback, all that stuff. When you see him on an NFL football field now, and if you're being really honest with yourself as a fan and evaluator or whatever, you can't help but notice he looks small. He's not as athletic as people claimed him to be, or what we saw in the SEC on the NFL field. And I think that's what's most concerning to me too. His arm strength was something that we had questioned a little bit. We thought that it was good, but it hasn't been overwhelmingly impressive so far early on this season.
Right.
And just from that, where would you like to go next?
Oh, everywhere.
Go ahead.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Listen. We're geniuses because we're not coaching or whatever.
Of course, yeah.
So we let him go, okay? I don't want to, we got to be careful. We don't want to give him too much. Give him too much.
Yeah.
Overload him. Let's really push the buttons.
Which is something they did a few weeks ago. They said we were giving him too much because he retains so much information, but now we're going to pull it back, all that kind of stuff, which they mentioned in.
Hey. By doing less, you make it easier for the defense.
Yeah.
You make it harder for you. We're talking, how much have we talked already today about disguises, this play, that play. We're going to show some, here later of CJ Stroud. You're going to go, wow, my God, you and I could maybe complete some of those passes.
Right.
So let it go. And I just said it. If you let it go with design and let him play free and aggressive, because you're not going to go to the damn playoffs. We know that. Yeah. So everything you do, to me, from now on all out for the rest of the season, it's about getting him and really finding out what he can do on the field and making him feel good about himself and the organization and the team and build it for next year. But to keep throwing 5-yard passes.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And he's in the shot. Did he ever get under the center?
Well, that was going to be the point I was just going to make. I mean, can we just run a little bit more of an old school NFL offense at times? Can we get under center and just say, we're just going to run the football and be physical at the line of scrimmage? Can we do some of those play action passes, which we like to see from CJ Stroud, and even what Will Levis has done in the short period of time as a starter? it looks like let's just copy and paste what he did at Alabama. That worked well, and
That's
let's just
what
try
it
to
is.
do it in the league. And it doesn't work that way. It wasn't even working that well in Alabama his last year. So I just feel like they need to rethink their approach as far as building a real offense around him. And stop being so focused on trying to make it easier on him. You're going to make it easier on him by being more versatile, like you're saying.
Man, listen, and they're going. I know this is always part of. Oh, we don't want to get him hurt. Look, the one thing I've noticed from him at Alabama and even this year, he knows how to. He has the self-preservation mode in him.
Yeah,
he knows when.
No, he knows how to take care of his body.
He's going to take
knows
care of it.
How to take hits and protect his body.
Boy, I sound like Bill Cowher. We do. Got to get him under center. That's all he talks about. But under the center is more deceptive than anything you can do back there. Oh, I'm going to fake you out. But you all can see the ball. Oh, but when you turn your back, they don't see the ball. A split second of hesitation in the NFL is a big play for the other side, for the offense.
For sure.
And I don't really know what else to say. I had so many. I don't want to be super, super negative about this. But I want to see Bryce Young.
No, I did that for you. So.
Yeah, but that was all right. But I want to see it. I just want to see it like I'm seeing with these other guys.
Yeah.
They're not holding back. Steichen didn't with Anthony Richardson. CJ definitely isn't. And Will Levis, it's not like they're sitting there handing it off constantly. Oh, we're worried. They're not worried about their quarterback.
No, they're just playing the game.
Trying to make him play.
Yeah.
And, so I hope they, I hope they do this. I would think they would, Matt, especially after that game we saw. Was that a Thursday night against Chicago?
Yeah.
I mean, boy, that would change me right there. I never turn a game off. And that one, when I got close, I was like, oh, my God. It was there.
Yeah.
There had to be other things there. I didn't watch the all-22 tape, but I saw enough on TV that I knew I didn't want to watch it again afterwards. So.
Yeah, I hear you.
But I hope it works for him. I do.
Yeah, there's always time.
I've met him a few times. He's a great
listen,
guy.
When you're a first-round draft pick, you're going to get time to learn how to play. It's just
that's a great point.
You're going to get experience, and because they got no choice.
Yeah.
You're married to the hip with the head coach and the GM and the owner. In a lot of these cases for these franchise QBs, so you're going to get time to learn how to figure it out.
It is, and you say it's all about him.
Yeah.
Their whole year is about when it's over. How did we do with the quarterback?
Right.
I mean, no, I'm serious.
It's true.
It is true.
It's true.
I think that about every rookie quarterback that's drafted high or gets in there, that's what it is. Everybody's going to understand the rookie troubles and all how hard it is and all that. So I hope it works out that way. Let's knock it out real quick. We're going to go over the draft, right?
Yep. So what teams right now need to draft a quarterback? Numero uno. Do the Bears need to draft a quarterback?
Well, I think that if they're in position, no matter what, they're going to – I would think they will take the quarterback,
Okay,
yes.
So you do think that they're going to be moving on?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Next team, the Patriots.
I think they're going to draft a quarterback.
Okay.
Or if they don't draft it, they're going to look for one. But I think everybody always prefers to see the draft pick so we can go forward with that.
Okay.
So you agree?
I do. I think they do need to kind of make a change at the position, or at least bring in more depth at the position and really make Mac Jones compete because, the whole he's competing against Bailey Zappi. Yeah, okay. Come on, let's really bring in a seasoned vet or somebody.
Well, this coming week, I want to see Mac Jones play again. I'm sorry.
No, I'd rather them go down with the ship with him than,
Okay.
Enough needs to be said there. Giants.
Ooh, the Giants, I think so much is going to depend on what position they get the draft. And we making eyes. What was that?
That was like a company line right there.
What?
Well, you're a former Giant. And,
well, what the hell? I think it's the truth. What do you mean? They're going to do something.
If they're in the proper position.
Well, you know what I mean. They're not going to – if they get pick 10 and all the top quarterbacks are gone, we got to reach for one.
Yeah.
So.
All right. I know. I'm just,
well, go ahead. What are you going to say?
I'm just busting your chops. No, I'm with you. All right, the Los Angeles Rams.
The Rams need a young quarterback.
Totally.
And there's enough quarterbacks, and they're bad enough that they're going to have a chance to do whatever they got to do to get maybe that. They're not going to get Caleb Williams. How many games have the Rams won? I can't even think off the top of my head. 3?
Yeah, I think 3.
Somewhere? Well, whatever.
Yeah, 3 or 4.
Yeah, so they might. I would be really surprised if they're not in the market to try to get one. Matt Stafford is going to play another year after this year.
Yeah, and now Green Bay Packers. What do you think?
I think it's up in the air.
Yeah.
I think Jordan Love has got I said it earlier, I think he's got a show. And, I will say this about Jordan Love. I love a little bit of his personality on the field. He's got a little red ass in him.
Yeah.
And I like that. But the throwing does have to get better.
Yeah.
It's better than it was when he came into the league.
Stop trying to be Aaron Rodgers. Let it go. Throw it. Get through the damn throw.
Get your ass in that ball.
Stop trying to be.
Hey, no,
Pause.
I'm being serious. To be these really good throwers that's in the league, they get their body into the throw.
Well, just stop trying to place it perfect the way just cut it loose.
Yeah.
Let it go just a little bit more. That's
Be
all.
Nolan Ryan, man. Here comes the fastball.
Some of the college QBs though that you really like, that we're going to highlight here just for a quick second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is obviously Caleb Williams.
Yep.
Really like what he's done. Still want to see him actually play the position a little bit more, in a traditional sense. I don't think that the way that he plays at USC right now will be the way that he can play or survive in the NFL.
Well, there's
I know
no chance
it's not
of that.
possible.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be, how quickly does he adapt to that style of play? But he is a phenomenal player, a phenomenal playmaker, and one of the more flexible arms in the draft too. And another dude like Joe Burrow that is bigger and stronger than you think he is.
I've met him. I tell you.
Yeah.
He's not, I'm going to say he's 6'2", maybe 6'1".
Yeah. No, but he's dense and strong.
Big shoulders, long arms, huge hands. Hey, look, he can throw. He has all the throws. And he does have a good ability to feel the pocket and move. You're right. He's not going to be able to do what he does in college, but the upside is great. Who's the next one?
What I want to ask you this. If you had to pick between, let's just say you were the Patriots and you really like these next two guys,
right?
Who would you put one and then two? Michael Penix or Drake May?
I'm just, listen, I said this to you. I haven't watched enough of Drake May to really get a great feel for him.
As just a fan of college football, just from what you see right now, what do you think?
Well, I know this with Michael Penix. He's got an unbelievable arm. He's not going to move around a lot because he's the guy if he sees a little crack.
He moves around to throw. Right? To be a thrower.
I did see him run a couple times this past week.
Yeah, but not as consistent as we've seen some of the other guys do.
But listen, he's weatherproof.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point.
That's
a really good point.
Because some of these teams that might draft are all northeastern teams and wind. And this past weekend he played in a big wind out there, and oh my God, it didn't bother him. He just was crushing the ball through the wind and everything. So I saw him in Indiana as a freshman.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. And now here he is, and so he is an unbelievable thrower of the ball.
Yeah, some of the throws that he made even this past weekend, he pumped left, drifted to his right, and threw a beautiful one in the back corner of the end zone to Roma Dunze, who I think is another phenomenal football player for them. But just some of the plays that he makes are just crazy good.
They are.
Crazy good.
Drake May, give me 20 seconds on Drake May.
Drake May, I think he's good. Everyone claims that he's this really good athlete. I don't know how great of an athlete he'll be or that will translate to the NFL level.
Right.
He does have a strong arm. He's gotten a lot of experience. But he's played in an offense too, Sam Howell-ish. They put up good numbers. They throw it a lot. They don't really play situational football at all. So his adjustment, I think, will be a little different to the NFL that way. Okay. And I'm not really even sure how talented of a thrower he is yet. Like we always say, you're going to throw the NFL ball better because it's a better football.
That's right.
But I just don't know how special or unique he is in that department.
I don't hear one person say anything but this. Caleb Williams 1, Drake May 2. First 2 picks of the draft.
Yeah.
And I just go, okay, it might be true.
The next guy that I think really is sneaky is Bo Nix.
He's big.
He's big. He's strong.
Runs.
Yep.
Can run well.
He throws it well on the run.
Yes, he does.
And he's got more experience than all the quarterbacks combined probably. I think before the year started, Bo Nix had, I want to say 3,000 college snaps. Something crazy.
No, it's a lot.
He had almost 1,000 more than anyone else in college football.
Well, good for him.
And what's cool, too, is that, it didn't go well in the beginning.
Well, he was down at Auburn in that offense.
Right, and that's what I like, though, too. He's been through it, You know
what they say? It toughened you up a little.
It toughened him up for sure. And now, new coaching staff, new offensive coordinator.
Oh, he's killing it.
And it's crazy that I think with his experience, his skill set, all that kind of stuff, he's done a great job of, learning on the fly with a new offensive coordinator and Will Stein, a Louisville guy, and really playing phenomenally well.
We'll go these next ones quick, but Bo Nix, I've asked people just like, hey, what do you think of Bo Nix? Yeah, I was like,
I like
come
him.
on.
I like him.
Well, I know. I'm just, come on, you're not watching. But
no, I think he's progressed as much as anyone in college football the past 2 years right now, and I think he's going to be a really interesting prospect for some football teams.
I agree.
The last one that I want to discuss, we're not going to get to the rest.
Let's just two.
Two. Okay, go. Who are they?
Jaden Daniels at LSU. If I had a vote, I would look closer. I don't have a Heisman vote, but a lot of people that have it, you don't deserve it. I don't know why you're voting on it because you don't even watch college football. No, I'm serious. It's ridiculous. 9,000 people. But Jaden Daniels puts up numbers. If I had to give the Heisman away right now, I would give it to him.
Oh, to me, he's easy.
Football people I talk to,
like
at CBS and we're there, they all agree.
Yeah.
He's
awesome.
Because they watch.
He's
but
awesome.
the other one that really has caught my attention, and it's J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah.
Big, fast, does have a strong arm. They don't throw it, in my opinion, enough. Well, they win.
Right.
I wish he could throw it more, but I don't know if he'll come out or not in the draft. I'm going to say he stays at Michigan another year.
Yeah, I have a little question mark with him.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, a little bit, and I'll just kind of leave it at that for now because I know we'll revisit this again.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so we're going to just watch a few clips, though.
Well, no, let's real quick. Let's pick the games. Come on.
Jeez, you are just...
We're only 3 minutes over.
Oh, okay.
So we can do those.
You say that, but you'd be like, hey, next time, let's go speed it up a little,
Is that the way I talk, Luke? Do I talk like that?
In my head, that's how you sound. There was one moment, though, today where you sound country as hell.
I did go into that.
You did. It was...
Go back and listen to me the first or second year. Blue Dead. I mean, I can't even do it anymore.
Yeah.
And I hear it on TV. I go, oh my gosh!
It was
felt like I come from Alabama.
And your hair too. You had the mop top thing going.
Okay, we don't have to get into that.
Yeah, all right.
It's a struggle every day of my life.
Yeah, it was beautiful hair.
All right, here we go. Cincy, Baltimore, pick it.
Real quick though, Phil, you're 5-3 on the year.
Yes, and what are you?
Your boy Matt Man, 3-5.
Baltimore over. I'm gonna take Baltimore Thursday night over Cincy.
You're taking Baltimore over Cincy.
Yep.
Okay. It's in Baltimore.
Well, you had this already picked out. What the hell are you doing? Let's go.
No, I'm having fun. I'm going with the Ravens, too.
You are.
All right, so Steelers-Browns, 1 p.m. on Sunday.
Who you want?
I'm going to go with the Browns.
Okay, so am I.
Okay.
Jets at Buffalo. Ooh.
Jets at Buffalo. What do I want to pick that game for?
It is at Buffalo, yeah.
That's not one of the 4 games we picked.
Oh, it isn't?
No.
Oh, okay.
We didn't talk about this. I just don't want to pick that game because I don't
Philadelphia, KC.
Philadelphia, KC. I'm going with the Eagles.
You are?
Okay. Yeah. Who are you going?
I'm going to go KC.
Ooh. Okay.
Just to be different than you because you can't pick games worth of crap.
Yeah, whatever, Phil. Okay.
All right. What's the 4th game?
Vikings-Broncos.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I thought this was a fun game to pick.
Yeah, it is.
All right, who are you going to go with on this one?
No, you go.
Broncos at home.
Wow.
Yeah, you won't do it. You won't do it. Damn, what's all this deliberate? You should have had this done already, Phil.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, yeah. All right, the hell with you. I'm taking the Broncos.
You're taking... You coward.
No, I'm not a coward.
Unbelievable.
It's going to be a low-scoring.
The only one that we picked separate from was the Eagles-Chiefs game, so that's going to be big for us.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
All right, so what we got? We're going to do – you're going to do
And you did pick the Broncos a week ago.
I forgot.
And last night you were like, I didn't pick the Broncos. And I told you today that you did pick them, and we really should take that victory away from you.
Do you think I can remember what the hell I did a week ago?
Yeah.
No, this brain's got a lot of crap in it. All right, let's watch some CJ Stroud.
That is apparent.
I want everybody to just watch this and just see how really unique these plays are. To me, I don't see them being run as much in the NFL. Matt, you saw them because you were with the guys that designed these guys. But go ahead.
Yeah, so here we go. We got a little double tight end set, a tight formation too, which condenses the defense on the other side to defend this, correct? And it looks like a obvious run set. We get heavy play action, and here we go. We got 8 guys that are right next to the line of scrimmage already after this play action. But what we're going to really get here is we're going to get CJ Stroud out of the pocket and separated from the line of scrimmage, and this is why we love these plays. Now, the one problem is that we didn't block the defensive end very well. But what's great, though, is CJ has space from the line of scrimmage and from the pass rush. So now we're going to see his athleticism take over. He does a great job of extending the play with his legs. He does a great job of keeping his upper body parallel to the line of scrimmage. And here's Noah Brown retracing after his route, which was to go to the back pylon, working now back towards his quarterback. And look at all that room that he has to throw an absolute laser there on the run.
He's on the run, full speed, and just he can flick it, get out of the – I mean, he's tremendous on the run.
Oh, it's a beautiful play.
All right,
beautiful play. So here we go again. Same formation again. Different personnel, though, now. So now we have 11 personnel, 3 receivers, 1 tight end, and 1 running back. We're in the shotgun in this situation. It's a third down situation. So we're expecting
3rd and 13.
3rd and 13. So we're expecting some sort of pressure because, hey, Lou likes getting after the quarterback in certain key situations.
But let me just say this before you run it.
Yeah.
What team in the NFL keeps everybody in to protect them on 3rd and 13?
You know, Marty Morningweg did that a lot, too, when we were the New York Jets.
Wow.
And he also did that a lot, too, when he was in Philadelphia and Andy Reid back in the Donovan McNabb years.
Wow,
and it was kind of one of those things where it's just like, it's not necessarily a 2-man route. It's 2 men that are like, we're going for the first down, and then it's the outlets to the flat. Yeah. And you're just making sure that your quarterback has a clean pocket to then throw, especially a strong-arm quarterback, to throw it aggressively down the field. And all you're going to see with this look is just 2 deep hooks by the 2 receivers on either side. You're going to get chip flats by the tight end and the receiver here. They're going to run to the flat, and then a check down over the football. And what's great that I want you to show here, see how CJ looked to the right really quickly to the flat? Look how he made Logan Wilson run too far to the right in this situation.
That's the linebacker just on top of the B. Logan Wilson moved outside to create a bigger hole. Go ahead.
he used his eyes to create more of an open space, and there again is Noah Brown wide open past the first down marker on a beautiful throw. And just great execution by the young quarterback and a simple concept for him to play fast and throw the ball aggressively.
Let's see which one this is. I've already forgot. I picked out so many.
So we got trips bunch, and now we have motion. Okay, again, the theme. Similar formation than what we've seen. So now, each time that we've seen this, we've seen similar type of coverages, whether it's going to be a quarters or a 1 deep single safety middle zone coverage, right? So we're going to get very similar looks each and every time. So here we go. Single high again coverage. Zone coverage. 4 men underneath playing that hook and flat area. Play action pass by CJ Stroud. Now, this is my one concern with this. We have a tight end blocking our boy Hendrickson here on the bottom. That's no bueno. We can't do that too often here, Mr. Slowick.
Is this 2 tight ends? Running back a little real quick. I know we don't want to make it long. But can you run it back?
I can. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Jim Carrey.
Wait. So this is how what? Brock Purdy got hurt.
This is how you kill your quarterback.
2 tight ends trying to block a top pass rusher in the NFL. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck with 91 there. And guess what? He loses. Shocker. All right, but what we want to really express, though, here again is just CJ's athleticism. 1, to make the man miss. That is unblocked or poorly blocked. Then to reverse field. I mean, like Tarkenton right here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Gets his eyes back to the line of scrimmage after doing a complete 180. And great job now of the step and throw on that right foot and delivers another strike across his body to Noah Brown down the field for another huge completion.
Back. That's the last play. Running back, and let's see how far he threw the ball with the flick of his wrist.
Yeah.
So that's what.
Look at you. You're talking like the kids these days with the flick of the wrist.
Yeah, well, I don't know what else to say about it except it's damn good and it shows you how talented he is.
But again, right, we just seeing similar defensive looks for a young quarterback, right, to where he can play fast, 3-man route concept, 2 men down the field, then to your check down in the flat. Great job moving in the pocket again.
All right,
the fact that he identified that he was open in this split second and then cut it loose just shows you the athleticism and flexibility this dude has.
25, it's about a 35-yard throw.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Not too shabby.
All right. Well, that was good.
Sire.
Good stuff. Good stuff, Matt.
Good stuff.
You're getting better.
I appreciate it, big guy.
I'm going to raise your pay to $100 a show.
Yeah. Well, I'm the one that drives you here to the studio, so.
Well, what are you going to say about that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to drive you anymore.
You're going to say, well, I'm driving Miss Daisy.
No.
No, okay.
No, a lot of our young listeners won't get that joke. They're not as old as you.
Well, I don't have to do everything for young listeners, okay? You talk to the old people, too. We watch the old people do stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, well, good. Good
old
stuff.
People do stuff. Well, yeah, another good week, another good review.
Yeah, it was fun.
And, yeah, we'll be back next week. We want to thank IMP Studios, as always, for the great work that they do here.
Yep.
Zane and Luke, we appreciate it. And Big Phil, we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Believe, Sims Complete. We're doing our dang thing here. See you next week, Philly. Love him, man. Toodles.
What the hell is Toodles? I got to get rid of that. Toodles my ass.